By now, y'all have already seen the video that I did about the documentary that they did called Profile Black Men and the response from those divestors. Now, what I'm about to talk about in this video, I almost put inside of the video about that, but I said the video was already too long, so I'm not going to continue to stretch it out anymore. So I wanted to bring this up because a simple Google search will show you what is the leading causes, the top 10 leading causes of deaths towards black women in America. And this is from the CDC. So I'm not just pulling this from anywhere. These are the top 10 leading causes of death for black women. Now, don't don't get confused when it says non-Hispanic black. Basically, what that means is a woman who is just straight up black. She's not considered what would be an Afro-Latina. That's basically what they mean when they say non-Hispanic black. That when, just like when they say non-Hispanic white, it's just a woman who's straight up and down a Hispanic woman who, who is a white woman. She doesn't have like any kind of admixture in her that would make her a Latina or a white Latina, so on and so forth. So I'm going to start from the bottom and work our way up, even though y'all can clearly see the whole top 10 right here. Hypertension is at number 10 for the leading causes of black women's deaths in America at 2.1%. Number 9, septicemia. Now, I didn't know what septicemia was, so I had to look it up. And basically, it's a bacterial infection. And basically, this particular bacteria gets into your bloodstream, then, you have to get medical attention very quickly or you can die. Number 8, kidney disease. I know several people with kidney, problems, especially amongst black people. And it's crazy because a lot of these diseases that some black women have, black men have as well. There's some differences in the list, but there's also some similarities as well. Number 7, chronic lower respiratory diseases. That's basically like someone who has bronchitis or asthma. Basically anyone who has shortness of breath, like they might need a pump or something in order to make them breathe better. Number 6, unintentional injuries. I take that as like an accident, like a car accident or maybe a fall or something that causes an injury that was not brought on by an intentional purpose. That's what I give when they say unintentional injuries, but that's number 6 with 3.7%. Number 5 is Alzheimer's disease. Now, this one hits close to home for me because my grandmother, God rest her soul, she passed away from Alzheimer's back in 2008. She died when I want to say that she was 90 or her early 90s when she passed away. So, yeah, that Alzheimer's disease, and we all know what that is. Basically, your brain doesn't function the way that it once did. You start to lose things. You have short-term memory loss, and then it turns into long-term memory loss. And there is currently no cure for Alzheimer's. It's just like it starts off at one stage and then it progresses more over and over and over to the point where it eventually will take you out. Number 4, diabetes. Now that's one right there that both black women and black men have in common. Diabetes, that's something that is plaguing and has been plaguing the black community as a whole for eons. I always said to myself, it feels like diabetes was probably one of the first form of diseases that black people had that just carried over for generations. Diabetes, that just all goes back to bad eating. Like if you're eating a lot of like fast food or a lot of stuff in high sodium or I take that back because diabetes, that's more dealing with sugar. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. Diabetes is dealing with sugar. If you're eating a lot of sugary stuff, high blood pressure is with the salt and sodium. Diabetes is more a lot of sugar stuff. Like you drink a lot of juice, a lot of soda, anything that has a lot of sugar in it, candy, ice cream, all of that on a consistent basis. That's what contributes to diabetes. And, I'm glad that I'm not on that tip. I'll indulge, but I'm not going to go all out and just say I'm going to eat this stuff every single day, especially because I go to the gym and that would be a huge hindrance on my progress. Number 3, stroke. That stroke right there is crazy. And the scary part about it is like, there's the mild stroke which is like the minor one, but then there's the massive one. And that one could probably take you out in one fell swoop. And the thing about the stroke is if you manage to recover or survive the stroke, your life, depending on how bad the stroke was, will never be the same. Like you might be in a position where you can't speak anymore. Your brain doesn't function anymore. You might be confined to a bed. And that too, also, you know, with the stroke and the causes of a stroke, that could come from, you know, blocked arteries or a bursting blood vessel or things like that. That's what causes a stroke to actually happen. That's why sometimes when you see people, when they have a stroke, they'll grab their heart or they'll grab some part of their body, because that's where the vessel burst at, is in that area. Or they'll grab their heart. Well, sometimes they grab their heart. That's probably most likely a heart attack. But, you know, when people have a stroke, they like to grab their arm and everything like that. That's pretty much where it's coming from. The next one is cancer. Number 2, cancer. Now, this is the common disease that is universal. Cancer, I always say cancer is the disease that does not discriminate. Every living being on this planet has cancer cells in them. It's just that will your cancer cells activate, thus creating cancer? And the thing is, the crazy thing about cancer is there's so many forms of cancer. There's not just regular cancer. You have, you know, heart cancer, lung cancer, liver cancer, cancer of the eye, brain cancer. Like, cancer is everywhere in your body. It's not just one kind of cancer that can be brought on from various different things. And sometimes when it comes to the regular cancer, that's just one that just kind of comes on one day and it just happens. And then, you know, if you're lucky and you catch it early enough, you know, you can go into, you know, remission and maybe get chemotherapy, even though some people say they would not want to do chemotherapy, and maybe be able to find a way to attack it and then, you know, go into remission and hope that it stays there. But then some people's cancer is so advanced that it'll take them out. For example, my uncle, he passed away from pancreatic cancer back in 2013. And the doctor said he had 6 months to live. That man only lived for like a month and he passed away because it advanced so fast. I always say pancreatic cancer is one of the most worst cancers you could have, because they'll say you have this long to live, but it'll take you out very, very fast. Because, and like I said, it all depends on your age, your health, and the location of where the cancer is. But he got taken out like literally like within a month of them telling him he had 6 months. He did not make it the 6 months. I don't even think he made it 6 weeks. But yeah, that cancer is one of the most deadliest things that is plaguing the planet. And I say that's a non-discriminatory form of death. And I'm sure, and the cancer is the one thing that you could probably find on anybody's leading causes of death, no matter what their ethnicity is, because cancer affects any and every group. Like I said, it does not discriminate. It's just that some cancers are worse than others. And the last one for the top 10 leading causes of death for Black women is heart disease. So I'm currently, right now as I'm talking, I'm looking up what causes heart disease. And according to it says obesity, insulin resistance or diabetes, high cholesterol and blood pressure, family history, being physically inactive, smoking, eating an unhealthy diet, and clinical depression. Well, those are the risk factors of heart disease. But I guess you could say that those are causes as well. And all of that I just read falls into this one category to get that. Now, that obesity one, we know that thing is really plaguing the Black community en masse. Let's not sit here and pretend that it isn't. And you know all the other things that they listed down below. And heart disease is the #1 leading causes of death for Black women. The reason why I'm doing this video is because you had a lot of those divestors under the comment sections of that video, or in the comment sections of the petitions, kept saying that Black men are taking out Black women every 5.5 hours. If that was the case, that would have definitely been #1 on here. But they're probably going to come see this video and say, this is health, more health based and everything like that. Yeah, it is very much health based, but that would have superseded this. This is, like I said, this reminds me of when you had PC talking about how black people, you know, commit 30% of the population commit 50% of the crimes. No, not that one. The one about Chicago, excuse me. They say that Chicago's this dangerous city, but every time you look up a list of the top 10 most dangerous cities in America, Chicago is never in any of those lists. It's in a list, but it's not in the top 10. It's never in the top 10. In all the lists that I've looked at, it's never there. From the time I started looking it up to, you know, the last time I looked it up, which probably was maybe a couple years ago, because I stopped looking after a while. Because it's the way that it's projected out into the media that Chicago is so bad. And that's exactly what that petition is trying to do, is to put out there that black men are so dangerous, that this is what's causing this, and that this is the reason why we're dying is because of black men. But the thing is, I don't think they're going to take it seriously. Last thing I heard is that petition actually did make the news. I guess it made local news, because I didn't hear it on like national news. Like, I guess it made some kind of, like, you know, a little small, little dent, a little crack, but I have a feeling that's all it's going to make. Like, they probably looked at that thing and laughed at it, because they said that the Discovery Channel, like, they didn't respond back with a comment, and I hope they don't respond back with a comment. For what? Why would they want to respond to something like that? They probably looked at that thing and was like, on to episode 3. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and do this video. Like I said, a simple Google search would have shown what the top 10 leading causes of death for black females in America. Leading causes of all ages, whether it's, you know, from girls to women. These are the leading causes of death. Not that black men, you know, quote unquote, committing femicide every 5.5, 6 hours. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. They're gonna refute it. I don't care. I don't know. Some of them just have severe daddy issues. That's really all it boils down to, honestly. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you are new, make sure you go and hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video or go live.